Good morning. It's very early on a Sunday morning and I'm driving around and I'm going to try not to hit anything or anybody. But there's no traffic in Killarney this morning. It's just after 8 a.m. I was just doing a little bit of shopping and I just thought I'd do, because there's no traffic, I'll do a little run around. So along here is called the Concrete, and the reason it's called the Concrete is because it's the first place in Killarney they actually started using concrete. And just back along there were some of the estate houses for the Brown estate. So bear with me as I change gear and everything. As we go along. Oops. You drove out in front of somebody. So this was the new road. This was the sort of little bypass road when I was a young fella about 40 years ago. This was the new bypass, and you've got the national schools around here, and you've got the Garda station, or as you might call it, a police station. And there's government offices, actually, for justice, I think. Some years ago, they brought some of the government offices to towns all around the country to spread out the employment around the country. That's Rock Road up there, and that's a library. And then we're just coming along here to... God, this isn't very clever, but anyway. Do you see that statue there? That statue is going to be unveiled when Ireland is free. When we get the 6 counties back, it's going to be officially unveiled. Just in the car park there was called the old sandpit, because there was a lovely old sandpit up around here. And this is St. Anne's Road, and the parish hall is just in there, and some community offices up around there. So you can sort of look at the nice architecture. This is quite a nice place to live, and you're very near town. There's a roundabout, and that's going up Lewis Road. That's Upper Lewis Road up there, and Lower Lewis Road. And you see how near you are to the mountains and everything. So just coming down Lewis Road. So one of the great things about Killarney is people live in the town. It's not one of these, lots of towns, it gets quite dead, people start living way outside the town. That's Áras Pádraig. Would you believe I acted there in an Irish play when I was a young fella? That's the Sugaun. That's a lovely pub and hostel. Casey's off licence. And now we're into College Street, and that's College Street. Scott's Hotel, Murphy's, Arbutus, O'Shea's, McSweeney's, O'Brien's, the Royal Hotel, and that's the courthouse there. And here's the fantastic Franciscan Friary here on my left. So the original Franciscans were out in Muckross Abbey before they came here. That's the outlet centre, big shopping centre, but very close to the town as well. And up there is the Great Southern Hotel. That was owned by the Great Southern Railway. And actually in 1861, that's where Queen Victoria's ladies in waiting stayed. That's the new Onham Centre. In there is the Killarney Park Hotel, 5-star, right beside the old cinema here. And there's Lear Cafe, and the lads still, all the Jarvies and the lads having a nice coffee out there. So we've come into the Haha, and so you recognise this place. And there's the new Methodist Church, and the entrance to the Golden Gates and everything there, down there, into Killarney House. And there's the Plaza Hotel and the Tanyard Restaurant. So we're going to go left. That's St. Mary's Church of Ireland Church there. There we are. What a lovely morning. There's the town hall. We're just coming into Main Street. There's Sheehan's. It's called the Grand. Oh my God, that's why you end up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning having a time of your life. Plunkett Street up there, and we're into Main Street here. Look, everywhere is shut. But anyway, it's early Saturday morning. So there's Reedy's Bar, and there's Murphy's Ice Cream, Abbey Travel Market House. So that's High Street up there. Laurel's Bar, you saw that in a previous video. High Street is lovely old bars, and you get, if you want the best Guinness in town and the best Murphy's in town, you head up High Street. That's where all the locals drink. God, they'll kill me. Oh, there's the Lawn. And Charlie Foley's, you got a great pint in there as well. Revive back there, that's a nice restaurant. Denjo's for chips and burgers and great food late at night. Celtic Whiskey Bar, good spot. I'm just going to go down here. Kitty's Kitchen is there, really good solid food if you want your bacon and cabbage and it's really good food actually. And that's one of the oldest shops in Killarney, Christy Healy's shop, and that's where they make the best. You get the best sliced Limerick ham in there. So now we're coming down New Street, Malarkey's restaurant. There are lots of sort of solicitors and accountants, and down here it's an auctioneers, and there's the Black Sheep Hostel, a really good hostel. Wins quite a lot of awards and everything. And do you see that place, Desire? That was called the West End Restaurant. That's actually owned, would you believe, by the parents of Michael Fassbender, the famous actor. So that's the Presentation Convent back there, and you've seen that before. That's the Bishop's Palace back there, and look at that. Look majestic this morning. It's rather sad on a Sunday morning. There's no mass in St. Mary's Cathedral. So that's Port Road down there. So we're going up what's actually a Mission Road. That's into the National Park there. So this is Mission Road, which was actually a new road built since I was a chap. So look at the laurel. Look at the laurels. It's in full flower at the moment. It's funny to see laurel in flower. That's where all the horse and carriages, the Jarvies, go into the park in there as they head down towards Rosscastle, down by Lough Lane. You're going to know Killarney very well after all these videos. So we're just coming up Mission Road here. That's the park, and that's Killarney House and Gardens in over the wall there. And we'll just, do you see this statue here on the right? That is Monsignor Hugh O'Flaherty, whose father was a Corkman that came to working in Killarney in the golf course. Actually, he was a greenkeeper or something like that. And anyway, Monsignor Hugh O'Flaherty rose up the ranks fairly quickly, and he was in Rome, and he saved over 3,500 civilian and Jewish lives during the Second World War. Amazing guy. At St. Vincent de Paul second-hand shop. But yes, Monsignor Hugh O'Flaherty saved a lot of lives. He's buried behind the Daniel O'Connell Church in Cahersiveen. And the lovely thing, I only learned this a few months ago, but when you go to his grave behind the Daniel O'Connell Church in Cahersiveen, you'll see little pebbles on the grave, and that's an old Jewish custom, because he saved so many Jews. So Jews from all over the world come to his grave and put a little pebble on his grave, more or less to say thank you for saving so many of us. That's the tourist office there, Fáilte Island tourist office. It's big, it's huge, there are fantastic people in there. This is called Beach Road, There's quite a nice Thai restaurant just down there on the left called Genting, and a little shopping centre in there to the right, where you can get your haircut, you can get your shoes fixed. There's also a laundry in there, so if anyone's here needing laundry, there's a very good laundry in there. Just you work it yourself, you know. So that's the tourist office and K-Town Bar, and we'll just give one little more run around here. What a morning to do this. No traffic, sun shining. And look, that's just a little bit of a better shot of Monsignor Hugh O'Flaherty there. An amazing man. He said, God had no country. So that's another entrance there into Killarney House and Gardens. So I just shoot up. Just there, actually, that bus stop there is where you get the red bus. That's where it starts from, the hop on, hop off double-decker red bus that brings you up to Ahadoe and Ahadoe Heights, where you get the lovely view of Killarney Lakes. And you have a lovely spin around there and down along an in-port road. And I'll just say the rest of it there in a second. Look, there's the lovely International Hotel. And look, those 3 craft shops I was telling you about, where you get the very best of Kerry woolens, especially. So yes, and the red bus comes back into town, and then comes down and goes down to Ross Castle down here. So there again is the Golden Gates into Killarney House, and a tunnel goes under the road here from the gardens that were back there, and we're stuck at red lights here now. So yes, and the red bus goes down to Ross Castle, the lovely castle down there on the right. That's down Ross Road. Look at the mountains. Oh my God, they're gorgeous this morning. So down Ross Road is also the racetrack, the horse racing track. You can rent bikes there in Lines rent a bike place there. And then the red bus comes down this road. This is Muckross Road. And it goes down to Torque Waterfall, which is beautiful, and back into Muckross House. There's Randall's Hotel, Drumhall Hotel. That's a fantastic shop and gas station or petrol station there. Centra on the right hand side. And that's the Glenagh House and the Harmony Inn. A lot of people stay there, and there's so many bed and breakfasts and hotels down here along Muckross Road. And it's, they're all pretty much, as you can see, in walking distance from the town. So we're just going down Muckross Road. Won't spend too much more time now trying to change gear here. So look at this. This is the Flesk River. The Flesk, it's quite a short river, but look how beautiful it is. Look. And there are the rapids down there. Would you believe, just upstream up here, there was a electricity generating station, and Killarney had electricity 4 years before London had electricity. There's oh God, I'm doing very badly with the gears. That's the Cahernan Hotel. That's a really, really lovely place to stay. Cahernan. And that's the Brehon Hotel here on the left. Really good. Brehon Hotel. And then you've got the INEC, the National Exhibition Centre, and the Glen Eagle Hotel. Huge big concerts and everything inside the INEC. And there's a tennis club right behind that as well. And to your right here is actually a private farm, and the owner, Miss Hilliard, has a lovely old herd of Kerry cows, which I think she might even still milk them herself. That's the real old genuine Kerry cows that come from here. And I won't do too much more. Look at that, there are the mountains in the back. Tomy's Mountain. There's another gas station down here. And here is actually one of my favourite hotels in the world. It's family owned by the Huggard family. Just closed at the moment. But the main they've changed the entrance now over here. It's called the Lake Hotel, and it's right on the lake. It's the most beautiful, relaxed place you can stay. Look at the lovely entrance and the deer and everything. It's on the lake. The food is fantastic. Everyone that's working in there is fantastic. It's just, the atmosphere is so lovely there in the Lake Hotel, food-wise and everything. That's Carrigalee Country House. Lovely place to stay as well. Mike Jensen, if you see that's where you all stayed, wasn't it? And just sure, while we're at it, we may as well do another little bit. So just heading down Muckross Road. So some of the jaunting cars, you can get a jaunting car from here as well. And look at that gateway. Look at the Loch Lane in there. That gateway was put in around the 1860s. Some say it was put in for the visit of Queen Victoria, but others disagree with that. So look, that's all part of the national park in there. You should see that in May. Oh my God, the bluebells. There's a whole bed of bluebells. The underfloor of that wooded area there is just blue with bluebells in the month of May. Oh, I want to show you. See the big high cross up there? That's the graveyard, Church of Ireland graveyard in Killarney. That's where the Herberts are buried, up there. And here is the 5-star Muckross Hotel and Spa. Muckross Park Hotel and Spa. This is really lovely, and look, you've got there's lots of entrances into Muckross, into the walking areas in there. What I forgot to say in the Muckross video the other night, or the other evening, is that there were actually 4 Muckross houses. So the present one you see is actually Muckross house number 4, and this first one was on the peninsula. The second one was just in there, and the basement of it is still to be seen. That's all that's left of it, is the basement. Inside in a field, it's all overgrown with briars and everything. And then the third one was over by Torque Waterfall, and the fourth one is the present one, built in 1843. So sometimes you see deer in the field, the red deer, breeding here naturally since the Ice Age, nearly 10,000 years ago. So, look, there are a few of them up the hill there. And look, there's the entrance to Muckross House. Muckross House and Gardens. And all along here, you've got the lovely, you see little cottages, and all the houses around here, the cottages, would have been part of the old Muckross estate. And it's where the workers would have lived. That's the old Kinmare Road. Fantastic walk. I think it's about 14 miles to Kinmare, the old Kinmare Road. You can't drive it now or anything, but it's a lovely walk, and they do it for charity every year. I think it's in aid of multiple sclerosis. There's a charity walk there. So look at the lovely woodland. And as I was saying, if a tree falls, it's just kind of left there for the microorganisms and everything to work away on. So yeah, here we are. That's Muckers Lake through the trees down there. And Torque Waterfall and Torque Mountain. And I've just come into a bend behind cyclists, which doesn't help. So look at the holly, all the natural. You get lots of lovely holly around here. Holly, and then further on up here you've got the old oak wood, the oldest oak woods in the world. And the other thing I didn't say when I was doing the Muckers video is, oh look at this, isn't it lovely? But you see the whiter rock over the other side of the lake. That's the limestone, and it's all sandstone around here. And on the Muckers Peninsula, you've got Carsland or limestone, very much like the Burren up in County Clare. But what you've got growing on it is, I think, one of two yew forests in Europe. It's very, very unusual to have a natural yew forest. So now, do you know what? We've just come down to all the way down to Torque Waterfall, and I know this is going to be a bit long, but I'm going to jump out of the car and just go down to Torque Waterfall with you, because it is gorgeous. I'll go as fast as I can. Now up through the trees. And one thing you might notice up here, and the trees are covered in moss, and that is a sign of the clearest air that you can possibly have. If you see trees covered in moss, it's a real sign of the most unpolluted air in the world. And look at this. I'm going to run now just so the video doesn't go too long. Look at all the trees just left there. Some people give out about it, but this is true nature. This is true natural park. This is the real way of leaving nature to its very, very best. So that's what comes first around here. Humans come second, by a long shot. So look, there's quite a lot of rhododendron up there. You can see the way it takes off, awful and all as it is. It's quite nice when it all flowers around the month of May. God, isn't this gorgeous? So big tall coniferous trees. They would have probably been planted a long time ago by the Herbert family. So I'm running out of breath, so I can't say a whole lot. But look at the holly. This is much visited, much loved Torque Waterfall. Torque being the Irish for a wild boar, and Muckers, the peninsula of the pigs. And this is Torque Waterfall. Magical. There's something amazing about being right here. So, happy Sunday or whatever day you see this, and welcome to Torque.